What are freedoms many countries in the world have that the United States does not have? I live in Indonesia. I could cook some food, load it in my car, park it on the side of a street, and sell the food from my car. Even the police would buy it. You don't have to pay taxes on lottery winnings in Canada, but you do in the US. Well, no one else said it, so prostitution. As far as I know, America is one of the few countries that taxes its citizens even if they're living and working in another country. Kinda eggs. Healthcare not tied to employment. Freedom to keep decisions about your healthcare between you and your doctor, without requiring the approval of a for-profit insurance company. Brazil. Annual free paid vacations. You can open an individual company in 30 minutes and pay the equivalent of $120 in income taxes per year regardless of income up to the maximum allowed for individual companies, which is well above the median salary in the country. Excellent and effective urgent medical care for free. Not so good but adequate, I would say, if it is not urgent, but it is also free. Your house cannot be taken from you if that is the only place you have to live. The freedom to have services not change their functionality to be worse than before. The EU generally protects against institutification. Proper maternity leave. Not going bankrupt because of medical bills. Drinking in public. Being able to change jobs without it affecting your healthcare coverage. The freedom to go to places without being dependent on cars, especially for simple things like getting groceries, going to work, school. Not being stranded at home cause you're too young or disabled to drive a car is nice. The ability to leave your job without losing your health coverage. In the case of Korea, you can go fishing without a license to do so. The only people that need such things is corporate fishers. Another one is consumer protections. Open carry a bottle of beer. Paid maternity leave. The freedom to have a child and continue your career. The right to be forgotten. Cops can't just take your stuff if they fancy it. Well, we have the freedom of purchasing a kinder surprise. The freedom to be able to survive while working a minimum paying job. OTC birth control pills. Drinking in public such as at the park for a picnic. Even if there's no issues in terms of area, time, and weather, still criminal, which is a testament to the home of the brave and land of the free. George Carlin said it the best, that's why they call it the American dream, because you have to be asleep to believe it. Abortion here is free on our National Health Service and there's no restrictions before 12 weeks. The freedom to drink alcohol in public. Although it's not many countries, I live in Japan and used to live in South Korea. You can walk down the street with a can or bottle of beer or other alcoholic beverage in your hand and enjoy your day with a smile on your face and a spring in your step. Edit, just to add, you can also drink alcohol on the metro or bus as well, although it is not considered good manners. Freedom to choose not to drive or own a car. Freedom not to go into debt because you got sick. Freedom to study and better yourself and your country without going into lifelong debt. Healthcare access. Not having to see this same post made about your country every week. Holidays from work. Sick days from work. Job protection laws. My taxes pay for my social services, so hospital is generally free. A doctor visit is either free bulk billing, or at least subsidized, maybe $50 of my own money. Common medications generally cost $15 to $50 for a month's supply. Police won't shoot most people. People won't shoot most people. No rabies. Getting paid a decent minimum wage so that you don't have to rely on tips. Freedom to drive as fast as you can on the freeway as long your car can handle it. Autobahn. Canadian healthcare isn't the best, and there's lots to complain about. But man, the differences between our system and the US is like comparing ice cream to horse manure. Also, women have bodily autonomy in all parts of Canada. My favorite thing about this thread is the Americans in the replies justifying why they don't even want that specific freedom, anyway. Affordable healthcare and better worker rights. Healthcare. Paid family leave. Right not to be fired without cause. Better voting rights. Right to an abortion. Right to higher education. Right to preschool education. Freedom to not get shot. There is no concept of jaywalking in my country. Religious nutcases are not any significant voter bloc, so we are free of religion interfering in our lives. Freedom to be seriously ill and not be personally bankrupted by medical bills. Basic dental care that does not cost several months of salary. Not having to go into massive debt to get basic healthcare and sending your kids to school without the fear of them being shot. The right to have a labor union. The fact that the US does little to protect unions is the biggest indicator that they still wish to enforce some sort of slavery on its population, even if it's corporate. Not pay land tax. Weird to me, the land of the free, and yet you are not free to own land. Americans thinking they have freedom will forever be funny. The freedom to walk into a grocery store and not worry about a mass shooting happening. Many countries have freedom from widespread gun violence. Freedom from medical debt. Paid paternity leave. Freedom from medical debt, freedom from student loan debt, freedom from pharmaceutical commercials, freedom from credit scores, freedom from a broken two-party system that is owned by the wealthiest corporations in the world and does what they are told by them rather than by the people who voted them into office. US is world leading in terms of freedoms. What it sucks at is civil protections. Most of the freedoms listed here are civil protections, like healthcare, maternity leave, workers' protections, etc. Not going bankrupt over healthcare. Freedom from Trump and MAGAs. Freedom to receive affordable healthcare and higher education. Unable to import haggis. NZ has no law against public nudity. I can freely walk in the night, I don't have to be afraid of guns, kids can come and go by themselves without escort, and babies can be left outside for nap time. Privacy laws. Right to own your picture in public. People can't just film you in public. Companies cannot just gather your personal information. I think this is essential in the information age, similar to freedom of speech and other fundamental rights. I live in England, I can cross the street wherever I please. I don't have to go bankrupt for a broken leg, the NHS is paid for by my taxes, I get free healthcare. I was surprised to learn that most states in the US have criminalized prostitution. Healthcare. Healthcare. Financial freedom to study what you want, change your mind and start over basically however many times you want and when you want to. No tuition the first year, second or the end. You are welcome to burn out in corporate and study to be a nurse. Hell, go for the MD at 40 years old. You'll never be straddled with tuition debt at the start of your career, ever, or be locked in a profession you picked when you were a kid and hate. The freedom not to own a car. Freedom for more than 2 political parties to become successful. If you're from the EU, you have the freedom to live, work, study or retire in any of the countries of the EU 27 at this point, I think. Also minimum 4 weeks paid holiday per year for all workers across Europe. I can go naked in communal showers, or at the beach. I can drink alcohol in public spaces like parks, and carefully jaywalk. I can say fuck and other swear words in public. I am German. Germany taking 30 days of vacations per year and not having to work when you are ill. Taking an extended time off with 60 pay when you are father of a newborn or young child. Also, having legal limits on work time. The EU limit is 10 hours a day max. Also, you always have the practical right to unionize. Companies cannot fire you for that. Freedom. The land of the free has the highest incarceration rate of any country in the world. Basic and vital healthcare are granted free for everyone in Italy, according to our constitution. The ability to send your kid to school and not have to think about buying a bulletproof